and radio check. So sorry for a bit of delay there. I was actually on my other channel streaming in Hindi. Maybe I thought I might get a greater response, but at the moment didn't get a good response. But yeah, we'll get back to it surely. But here is my main channel, Sports Maniac 144 in English. We have 31 minutes left in this practice session, and Oscar Piastri once again is currently the fastest of the two McLarens. Lando Norris sits in P2, Pierre Gasly P3, Russell is P4, and Max Verstappen, or as you might have seen in the live chat, Franz Hermann is currently in P5. So, talking of the weekend till now, as we hit the halfway mark of the FP, oh, I brain lag the FP2 session, sorry about that. As we hit the halfway mark of the FP2 session, talking of FP1, who was quickest? Oscar Piastri. Talking of Miami Grand Prix, who won the race? Oscar Piastri. Talking of the two races prior to that, who won the race? Oscar Piastri. So Oscar Piastri currently is on a mission. Like that guy is absolutely wiping the floor of Lando Norris. I mean, this is not demeaning Lando in any way or the other, but I will say in the past few races, Oscar has just been mighty. Like, I personally am still supporting Lando Norris in this inter-team McLaren battle for the drivers' championship. But to be honest, I will agree that currently the faster of the two driver is Oscar. But I also have a point that I think you guys might agree as well. Agree as well. If you do, then please do share your thoughts in the live chat. But between the two McLaren drivers, Lando, I think, is a quicker one. This is by no means saying that Oscar is not a great driver. And I'm not again bringing up the old stats, but last season we all know the qualifying head to head battle between Lando and Oscar was 20 to 4 in favor of Oscar. Sorry, in favor of Lando. In favor of Lando. Also, last season we saw that Lando had the slightest of the edge over Oscar in terms of the race pace. We saw that in Miami as well, that in free air, maybe Oscar had a greater move on Max as compared to Lando. But in free air, slowly but steadily, Lando was able to creep into the gap of Oscar Piastri. So I still personally feel that if that's the main thing, but if Oscar is able to wrinkle out the mistakes, iron out the mistakes, and is able to perform his absolute maximum whilst not making any mistakes, Lando might still just by the slightest, when I say the slight, is like the thinnest of all margins edge over Oscar Piastri. But yeah, that will be great to see. Like till now, one thing that we have been robbed of is a great battle. We haven't seen a battle between Lando and Oscar throughout the whole season, and which is the main thing missing in this season. This battle has the potential of becoming a battle as great as the battle between Nico Rosberg and Lewis Hamilton in 2016. We all know both Lando and Oscar are great drivers. Both are still quite young in terms of the age, also in terms of getting a car that is able to fight for the championships, right? We all know at the start of last season, McLaren were like not the fastest car. In 2022 and 2023, even McLaren were the slowest car in the first round. But in the recent times, with the faster car, with a few more wins under the bag, I'll say both of the drivers will be quite motivated and hungry for more wins and a championship. Because a main thing to talk about here is we don't know what's gonna happen next season. It's speculated that maybe Mercedes might have the edge over the rest of the competition next season. Maybe Red Bull with the new Ford engine can be right there in the mix. Ferrari, we all know, traditionally have been quite good in terms of the top end engine speed and straight line speed. So maybe they can be a surprise inclusion in that list of the title contenders. So maybe McLaren need to think that this might be possibly the last chance of winning a championship in the near future, because again next season it's gonna be an engine formula. But a positive is that McLaren are using Mercedes engines, which traditionally have performed quite good in the engine side of parts. So yeah, a positive is that McLaren have the Mercedes engines for next season. But again, no one has seen the future. Maybe it's Mercedes and Ferrari next season, and McLaren are maybe somewhere in the upper half of the midfield, or currently where Mercedes or Red Bull are. So that's why the both of the drivers will fight with even more grit and courage for the. Just a second, I just realized that currently on the screen you guys might be seeing F1 Live Bahrain Grand Prix. And what I will have in my defense is I was just streaming, focusing more on the Hindi live stream. I thought maybe we can have another source of stream there, but yeah, sorry about that. Just give me a moment. I'm en route to fix the blunder. Yes, so the blunder is fixed. Thank you for the patience there. But what I was discussing on is maybe this might be the last season that McLaren. Thank you for the subscription there. By the way, it really means a lot to me. Just 36 subscribers are for the target. Let's go. But as I was saying, this might possibly even be the last season currently for a short term of period that McLaren have a championship fighting contender car, because we never know which car might come up in the future as a quicker, better car. So yeah, both of the drivers in the likes of Norris and Piastri also know this point and would not like to even give a snitch of a hopes to the other driver of the championship. So yeah, currently Oscar leads by, if I'm not wrong, by 16 or 16ish points. So yeah, still a lot of season to go, and we are only quarter way done in the season. Still 3 quarters to go. But yeah, talking of someone else, Alpine, let's talk about them because we all know a lot. And when I say a lot, I mean a mighty, mighty lot of things have gone into that Endstone based team between these 2 weeks. Last weekend, the driver lineup was Jack Doohan, Pierre Gasly, and the team principal was Oliver Oakes. This weekend, the driver lineup is Pierre Gasly, Franco Colapinto, and they don't currently have a team principal. They just have Flavio Briatore as a team advisor, which is quite disastrous to be honest with you. Like such a big turnaround within the middle of the season, not even the summer break. So yeah, as I was saying, a bit of rough patch there for Alpine. What was the main cause for that? See, as I was discussing earlier in the stream as well, Franco Colapinto has signed a 5-year mega deal with Alpine to be a reserve driver. And if you peek into a driver's mentality, like I'm not a Formula 1 driver actually, but at least if you look at the interviews and all that stuff of other drivers, like take for example Alex Albon, F1 racers are never happy in becoming test or reserve drivers because you are not actually driving the real car, but still you are working quite a lot in the sim and all that stuff. But you don't get the same adrenaline and the push that you get from driving an actual Formula 1 car. So obviously, I think Franco would have been communicated when he signed the contract that this is not only a reserve driver deal, but sometime in the near future, we might even give you a full time drive with the main team as well. But the day I think has come quite a lot earlier than a lot of people would have expected. Because what I personally felt was maybe like around the season break or a race or two after that or before that, it's fine. But in the middle of a full fledged season where Duan was not absolutely awful, like I know he was crashing a bit more, not up to the pace of Gasly, but in the last Miami Grand Prix, the latest Grand Prix, he out qualified Pierre Gasly, which is quite a huge feat if we are to talk about teammate battles, because him being a rookie, out qualifying his much experienced teammate is still quite a good feat. And also, what I've been listening to throughout most of the podcast and the interviews and all that stuff, that it is quite an early decision by Alpine, because being a Formula 1 driver is not easy. Adapting to a new team is not easy, a new environment, a new workspace, and all that stuff. So you need to at least give a bit more time to a driver so that they are able to settle into the team and bring out their absolute maximum. We saw that with Kimi Antonelli and Mercedes. Like Kimi crashed in Monza in last season's practice session. And what people are saying, that Kimi is not ready or it's too early for Mercedes to maybe promote a Kimi. He hasn't even completed his road driving license test. But yeah, I think he proved almost all of the doubters wrong when he got sprint pole ahead of George Russell, Max Verstappen, Oscar Piastri, and Lando Norris last time out in Miami. Also a P3 on the grid last time out in Miami for the main race. So yeah, I think this rookies, the current batch of the rookies just come, that is Bortoleto and Lawson and Antonelli and Bayman. They have a lot of potential, but I will say they just require a bit more time and a bit more favorable environment for them to bring out the maximum, and which I'm sure that Duan surely didn't get it. Currently we have Colapinto in his place. So what advantage does Colapinto bring? One may think. I also thought that as well. Like why Colapinto and not Duan? Because Colapinto we also saw the last season is a bit more crash happy. Maybe a bit less than Duan, Latifi, and all those, but has pace. But I will say is a bit more crash happy than a team would like. So why Colapinto above anyone else in their pool where they're like promising drivers like Kushmani or if I'm not wrong, Aaron, Paul Aaron, and all those great drivers. But the main things that come to my mind is, and I've said that many times, Formula One works on just one thing. It's not the drivers, it's not the teams, it's not the passion, it's money. As simple as that. Formula One teams simply operate on money and the money they get. And by signing Colapinto, what Alpine is getting? Loads of money. Like Colapinto is from South America's Argentina. We all know in the past there have not been a lot of drivers from Argentina. A great name of Formula One, John Manuel Fangio. If sorry for the pronunciation there, I just tried something different. But Juan Manuel Fangio was from Argentina, but I don't then remember any such significant figure coming to Formula One for the South American continent. So in the likes of Colapinto, what the teams have is huge backing and support from Argentina and the continent of South America. What does this mean? Loads of money. Also with the sponsors, with the backing and all that stuff. I will say if you were to choose between Duan and Colapinto for 365 days, I will say 360 out of 365 days you will choose Duan Colapinto over Duan because of the obviously the pace thing, but also all the other factors he bring along with him into a Formula One team. So yeah, uh, let's see. But still, the main thing I didn't talk about is that in the press release, it is mentioned that Colapinto has been signed only for 5 races. So if he performs in those 5 races, it's good for him. Or else Alpine, as they are in massive, as they are in a current massive turmoil, they might sign another driver for the next 5 races, and like it's like merry-go-round and music chairs at the moment in Alpine, like which driver will be driving the second seat and will be the team principal. Because if I'm not wrong, in the last 5 seasons, Alpine have had 5 team principals, which is quite a lot as compared to Formula One. And in general terms as well, look at Red Bull. They have had just a single team principal in the face of Christian Horner in the start of the Formula since they entered Formula One. Toto Wolff for Mercedes, like they are huge examples of stability and success at Formula One. So yeah, let's see how this driver move pans out for for Alpine and all the fans. Next up, currently in P4, we have George Russell. I will say nothing much to say about George Russell, just a simple line. He's the only driver of the current season to finish P5 in all the competitive sessions, which I will say speaks quite a lot without speaking quite a lot, because when you're the likes of Verstappen and Hamilton and Leclerc and Norris and Piastri, Russell finishing P5 amidst all those drama, all those moments is quite impressive. Mercedes, I would say, is kind of the second quickest car though, which is helping him quite a lot in his case. But still, he's able to extract the maximum of the car. I think he had 4 podiums throughout the entirety of 2024. He already has 4 podiums in 6 races this season. This shows how better of a car Mercedes is this season. And as a Mercedes fan, that those are happy ending days, to be honest with you. Next up, so currently we have 17 minutes left in the practice session, and after all the qualifying runs done, Oscar Piastri is the fastest of all. Lando Norris, again, as it has been throughout the whole weekend and past few weekends as well, is only 25 milliseconds or two and a half tenths, sorry, two and a half hundredths behind Oscar Piastri in P2. I can't still believe it. Pierre Gasly is in P3. Max Verstappen, Joe Russell is in P4. Franz Hermann, aka Max Verstappen, is P5. Charles Leclerc P6. Isaac Hadjar P7. Yuki Tsunoda P8. Alex Albon P9. And Carlos Sainz rounds out the top 10. So, yeah. Thank you very much, everyone, for tuning in. Please don't forget to like the stream, subscribe the channel, all that good stuff. It really helps and motivates me a lot. Also, sorry for the lack of live streams in the past few 2 3 weeks because I was really quite busy in my first year final second semester examinations, which went quite well just for your information. But yeah, I'm free now for 2 months till the July of 14th or 15th. I'm not sure about the starting date, but till July I'm free. So yeah, we'll be focusing more on the live stream. So yeah, please don't forget to like the stream, subscribe the channel. It really means a lot to me. Thank you very much. So currently we have 15 minutes left in the session. What is an interesting talking point here? Antonelli, I think, like, not a big point, but is in P18, which might be a bit more concerning. As we see a track analysis here that Oscar Piastri and Nano Norris are the fastest drivers in the medium speed corners. Isaac Hadjar, surprisingly, is the third fastest. Russell is the fourth, and Max Verstappen is the fifth fastest driver through the medium speed corners on the current track. So, yeah, 15 minutes to go, 900 seconds, 90,000 milliseconds, and a lot of yapping still left from my side in this free practice session. Obviously, as I've said a million times in my stream, that free practice session is, I think, one of the most important practice sessions out of the three we have because it is in similar track time, similar track temperatures, similar track conditions, which is quite ideal to run a Formula One car as it is as compared to the actual practice, actual qualifying of the race session. So yeah, just give me a moment. Hadja has beached it. Isaac Hadja has beached it into, I guess, if not, I'm not wrong, that's Aqua Minerale, and that is a red flag for the session. And I don't see the session resuming from here with only like around 5.5 minutes left on clock. So what happened was Hadja had a spin, went into the wall, kept the engine running and kept the nose clean, but while recovering on the track, like half of his wheel in the gravel, half of his wheel on the track, and unfortunately is not able to move his car. Yeah, that was a not that hefty of a spin, like a few bits and damages to his bodywork of the car. But yeah, not able to recover the car back on the track safely, and it's a red flag. So I think that might mostly be it for this practice session. But please, everyone, do share your thoughts in the live chat about the stream, about what changes you might want to have in the future so that the stream is a bit more not motivating. Like these streams are not meant to be motivating, but a bit more entertaining and a bit more fun for you guys. So yeah, please share your thoughts in the live chat. What changes will I make to the stream? Maybe I commentate a bit more slowly, a bit more fastly, a bit more talk about Formula One or talk about something apart from it. Your feedback will really mean a lot to me. So yeah, what time do we have left now? It's 3 minutes and 54 seconds. The recovery vehicle is on the track, and I guess the session might resume maybe just for the practice starts so that the drivers can come out on track and do some practice starts before. What's happened there? Why did I go into pre-race press conference suddenly? Oh, Mike's why I just touched the screen there. But yeah, as I was saying, please do share your thoughts in the live chat that what changes should I be making to the stream so that it is more engaging and maybe like the F1 gamerish range where he's getting like around 6 to 7,000 viewers. I would love to have that much of a viewers, but like around 400, 200 viewers, I would say is a good number. Like it is a bit more encouraging and motivating to commentate to a larger number of people as compared to maybe 4 or 5. Appreciate every one of you tuning into the stream, but yeah, please do help the stream reach out higher heights. Only one like on the stream, I will say that's not acceptable. It's not that awful that I'm not even receiving a like. Like if you see the likes of racing statistics team, I'm not trolling them, but even the mic quality is not that great, and still thousands of people go and watch them. So yeah, please do like the stream, subscribe the channel, and 3 minutes left in the session, and I guess Hajja's car has. Oh, I thought a subscriber decreased again, but no. Hajja's car has been recovered, and yeah, it's green flag, and the drivers will be at the end of the pit lane very shortly. Riding on board with Max Verstappen, let's see what happened. There's a replay here. Through the final chicane before the two corners. Well, I didn't see anything. Oh, interestingly, Verstappen said he had a nut in his hand, and that nut fell off into his seat, which is quite concerning to be honest with you. But let's see what happens. Okay, so we have 2 minutes left in the session, and all the drivers are on an outer track. As I said, there is not exactly enough time to do fast runs, but all the teams will love to do a practice start before the actual Grand Prix in these conditions because mostly the Grand Prix will be starting on this actual time 2 days after on Sunday. So yeah. Also, do let me know, guys. Like this is a different kind of venture, but I may be thinking of streaming the 24 hours of Le Mans as well. Like it will be an interesting thing to stream. Like haven't done any of such thing in the past, streaming for 24 hours. But yeah, please do let me know in the live chat that are you interested in maybe seeing one. Like, do you follow the World Endurance Championship? I like don't exactly watch it, but if I see a post from Ferrari, that I mean that means they have won. Apart from it, I haven't followed 24 Hours of Le Mans that much, but yeah. Yeah, sorry, that's my mistake. I follow 24 Hours of Le Mans from the last two seasons, but haven't followed the World Endurance Championship that much. So yeah, please do let me know in the live chat if you guys are interested in seeing the 24 Hours of Le Mans stream. Mostly planning of doing it alongside the Canadian Grand Prix qualifying on the exact same day. So yeah, will be a bit difficult task, but please do let me know in the live chat and the comments and all the possible places of communication that are you guys interested in seeing a stream for something apart from Formula One in motorsport itself, like that I'm seeing 24 Hours of Le Mans, but yeah, please do let me know as we have 20 seconds left before the Friday practice is done, and 37 subscribers are from the target. So please don't forget to like the stream, subscribe the channel, all that good stuff. It really helps and motivates me quite a lot. And three, two, one, and yeah, that's it for the FP2 session. As we all know, in the FP1 session, we were unable to do the practice starts because of red flag incident at the end of the session, which caused the session to end early. But yeah, drivers now lining up on the grid for the practice start, and we are lining up on the grid for tomorrow's uh stream. So again, please do let me know in the live chat what changes do you want in the stream. What else do you feel can be improved, because you guys are a part of the integral part of this channel, not even a normal part. So please do tell me in the live chat. And yeah, the practice results are Piastri, Norris, Gasly, Russell. Piastri, Norris, Gasly, Russell, Verstappen, Leclerc, Hadjar, Tsunoda, Albon, Sainz, Hamilton, Bayman, Colapinto, Alonso, Lawson, Bortoleto, Stroll, Antonelli, Hulkenberg, and I'm not able to see the 20 drive on my screen. Let me guess who it can be. Is Colapinto there? Yeah. Is Stroll there? Yeah. I guess it's Ocon. Yeah, it's Ocon. So the results for FP2 are Piastri, Norris, Gasly, Russell. Piastri, Norris, Gasly, Russell. Piastri, Norris, Gasly, Russell, Verstappen, Leclerc. Piastri, Norris, Gasly, Russell, Verstappen, Leclerc, Hadjar, Sonoda, Albon, Sainz, Hamilton, Bayman, Colapinto, Alonso, Lawson, Bortoleto, Stroll, Antonio, Hülkenberg, and Ocon. So again, it's the McLaren 1-2 out at front, and I'm sure that at least this weekend we are gonna have a amazing battle for the win between the two McLarens. So please don't forget to like the stream, subscribe the channel, all that good stuff, and I will see you guys tomorrow for FP2, if I'm not wrong. From what's that? Just give me a moment. I'll just confirm the time to you guys so that we can meet tomorrow as well. So yeah, 4 p.m. Indian Standard Time, 2:30 p.m. track time, which I think it makes it and 10:30 p.m. Like no, yeah, 11:30 p.m. BST, 4 p.m. Indian Standard Time. So and 12:30 p.m. track time. So yeah, be sure to tune in for the live stream tomorrow for the FP2 session. Thank you guys for all the support. It really means a lot to me. And have a great day ahead. Thank you very much. Again, the results: Piastri, Norris, Gasly, Russell, Verstappen, Leclerc, Hadjar, Sonoda, Albon, Sainz, Hamilton, Bayman, Colapinto, Alonso, Lawson, Bortoleto, Stroll, Antonelli, Hülkenberg, and Ocon. Piastri fastest, it's Lando Norris P2, a McLaren 1-2 out at front. Thank you very much for all the support. It really means a lot to me. Thank you very much. Have a great day ahead.